Alright, so here we have the DC Multiverse, McFarlane, Superman. So, I've been eyeing this figure for a long time, seen him at Target, and I gotta say, out of all the figures that McFarlane has released, he looks to be the best, in my opinion. I really want the Batman who laughs just because he's creepy as shit, but his neck looks kind of weird to me. So I don't know, but this guy looks to be the best so far. So let's take a look at him. He comes with a few extra hands. I don't remember which hands he comes with in package, but I know he comes with, I'll show you guys both of these. They come off really easy here, as you can see. He comes with two open hands, which are completely open. If I can get them to focus here. Just a moment. So two open hands here. It's completely open, sculpted pretty nice. Then he comes with a fist, which yeah, that makes sense. It would be nice to have a second fist, but instead we have a trigger finger. I don't know why. This is just supposed to be like a natural looking hand or something, but it just looks really awkward. Not a fan. And I'll never pose him with this. I don't know why he comes with this hand, because it's not like he has any accessories to hold or anything, so there's really no point to include this. But the hands do pop on really easy. You see some massive pegs here for the hands. Very, very big. Just gonna pop on like so. Focus this in here for you guys. Really, really big pegs. I did not expect that, but at least you know they're not going to break. Don't seem like they would anyways. They fit on there pretty nice. So, the other thing the figure comes with is this stand, obviously, and a trading card as well. So we'll take a look at the trading card here. Some nice art. This is obviously based off his look from Action Comics 1000, I believe, like it says on the bottom here. Action Comics 1000. When we flip it, you can see a little bio here. If you'd like to read it, you can pause this. I don't really want to read all of that personally. Gives you some nice details about him. His real name is Kal-El, or Clark Kent, his adopted name. His height is 6'3", and his weight is 235 pounds. So that's kind of cool. Nice little trading card, but I don't think anyone really cares, I guess. I don't know, I'm not really big on the whole idea of a trading card. But then he comes with this stand here, which is actually a really nice touch. I wish Marvel Legends did this more, but pop this off here. You get this basic stand here that's completely translucent that you can stand him on. It has a nice peg. If you want to get him on the stand, it does work really, really well. As you can see, it works incredibly well. Then it comes with this extra stand that you literally just slide into a port on the back here. Sorry if I'm bumping the camera. And it fits in there really nice. It's hard to get out. And obviously it rotates up and down, and it does not turn at all. It is kind of flimsy too, so I'd be careful with it. But it fits around Superman's waist pretty well. As you can see, looks good. Holds him really nicely. I don't think he's gonna fall out or anything. I like this a lot. It actually looks really nice. So that's a nice touch. I really like the fact McFarlane included a stand. So now that we're done looking at all that, let's actually take a look at this action figure. Now, first thing right off the bat I want to say is he is lacking in the articulation department a tiny bit, mainly in the joints like the elbows. Mainly these two elbows, which are pretty important to me. But the one thing I do like is that the joints blend in really well. You can see this part of the arm is completely sculpted, like super nice. So it really blends. It's a very natural, flowy look, and I like that a lot. His wrists are not painted too. Like the ball joint is still blue, which kind of looks funky. That doesn't look natural. And the way they sculpted this hand, you can see there's a huge chunk missing right there. So that doesn't really look natural at all. That looks kind of thwacked, dude. But aside from that, he looks pretty nice for the most part. I mean, 7 inches tall. The cape is really nice, works well. It's very big, looks good. It's a nice soft plastic material, much better than the cloth cape in my opinion, unless it's a wired cloth cape, that is. The emblem is sculpted on. That looks pretty clean, very, very glossy, shiny, looks dope. All the colors are very consistent all throughout. I like this like soft plastic underwear piece because that also makes him look very natural, opposed to just having like a painted piece. I definitely like this a lot more. That looks cool. Otherwise, he's really in proportion. He's very proportional. The other thing that I think is obviously a make or break is his face sculpt. And I'll bring this in here for you guys so you can see his face nicely. There you go. That's a good look at his face here. And it's actually pretty nice for the most part. He kind of looks like he has bags under his eyes a little bit. And I think the hair is a bit too shiny. You definitely could have like just had a matte color, like a matte black and then like a blue wash or something. But it still looks good. The sculpt work is really, really clean, man. That looks very, very nice. I absolutely love the hair curl. So for the most part, this whole face sculpt is very, very nicely done. Looks just like Superman. Very nice. So for the most part, this figure sculpting and all his work is good. The hands are a little funky the way they're sculpted, but aside from that, I don't really see any other problems with the figure. Everything is nice. There's little details all throughout this guy, like his sides here. I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but they actually did some cool sculpt work here to make it look like a real suit. I don't know if you guys can see that here. I want that to focus. Yeah, there, it's kind of visible now. I love how that looks. So that's a nice little touch. I would have liked to see more of that throughout the figure, but that's a nice touch. Otherwise, the figure is sculpted pretty well. The feet look kind of weird, I'll say that much. They're a little bit on the long side, but I like the fact they included the toe articulation too. So let's take a look at this guy's articulation. His head goes back not far at all, and that's probably a lot of people's biggest complaint because Superman's known for flying. If you have a flight stand, why can't he look up like at all, dude? But whatever. He looks down all the way around. Obviously, there's a very nice neck pivot with this guy, so that's really cool. His arms are very articulated. He has like a butterfly type joint in here, just like Batman, so that's cool. I believe Batman has that same thing. Yeah, he does. I can see him from here. So his arms go out kind of like that with the butterfly joints. They can obviously rotate, go up, down pretty far, but they're really, really stiff. Obviously rotation here at the bicep. Single jointed elbow, it appears to be. A ball joint in the wrist. So his wrist rotates, goes down, up, and you can rotate that ball joint within and then have another motion, another direction that this wrist can move in. So you have it go away from his body and forward, and then you can rotate it and go up towards his head and down towards the ground. So that's kind of cool. I like that, but it takes some fidgeting with, definitely. There is a swivel here in his abdomen, so kind of like a diaphragm joint here that goes down pretty far, but doesn't really stay down because of the cape's weight. Goes back. There is a joint here in the waist that also goes forward pretty far and back. Like I said, rotation here, rotation at the waist, kind of. Not really. It doesn't really work. It's kind of tight there. But whatever, that's not a big deal. It is pretty dang articulated. The legs are really articulated as well. Those go out incredibly far, just like the Batman. Forward, back. There is no rotation in the leg, really. It's kind of a bummer. Double jointed knees that also blend in really well when they're just standing straight, as you can see. Even here, they sculpted some of the joint there. I don't know if you guys can see that. The top part of the joint, you can see is kind of sculpted here. I hate to do this focusing over and over, but that looks pretty nice, in my opinion. So there's that. Then there is no rotation at his calf. There is a hinge here at his foot. There is an ankle rocker. It also is on a ball joint, so I mean you could rotate that ball joint and have his foot like go real weird. I don't know why anyone would really want to do that. Looks awkward as hell, but rotation stuff, it moves pretty good. I don't really care for that ball joint though, down by the feet, kind of awkward. And there is a little hinge at the toes here, so it's cool. But his feet are a little bit on the long side, and it's really evident when you do that. That looks kind of weird, but it looks nice. The only complaint I have, I guess, is the articulation in the head is really awkward. Not a fan of that. The joints in the elbows could be double jointed. That'd be nice. A little more sculpt work on the joints. I really like what they did with this top joint here. But I see if they do it with the bottom joints too. That one obviously looks kind of whacked. I never noticed that before. But the other thing I have a complaint about is you can see like little screws here. What the hell, man? That's really crusty. I don't like that. That looks really crappy. I'd rather have no... If you need to show screws like that in order to do that little hinge, don't do it. Because that just looks like crap, to be honest. That makes it look kind of cheap. Not a fan of that. But otherwise, this guy's sculpt work, aside from that one piece, is really clean. There's no paint problems. The emblem being sculpted on is a really, really nice touch. I like that it's not painted on. Honestly, I really love this Superman figure. I think he's absolutely great. I like him a lot more than the Batman. Yeah, I have good things to say about this guy. I definitely think if you see him, you should buy him, because he is kind of nice insight into what McFarlane is capable of with this line of figures. So I'm really, really happy with how this guy turned out, and I really love the flight stand he comes with. And the trading cards I could give or take. I don't really care. Whatever. But with that said, let's do some size comparisons. So first we have Captain America, Marvel Legends 80th anniversary cap. So you can see how he scales up next to Marvel Legends. So obviously you can't really go with Legends. I don't know if you can go with Selects. I don't really own any Marvel Selects, but if I did, I'd show you. So I'm sorry I don't. But those are 7-inch scale figures too, so I imagine they would probably go alongside one another. And then I have them next to Batman here. And those two go together. There's a gun down here. Go together pretty well. It came out of the camera. Batman is on his stand at the moment though. So we will take him and put him next to Clark Kent here. And Batman looks like he's a little bit on the tall side. Maybe Clark Kent should be a bit bigger. But for the most part, they look like they're really in scale with each other, and they look pretty sweet together, man. I'll also grab a NECA figure here for you guys to see how he compares to the NECA figures too. So obviously these are all 7-inch scale figures. So they all go together pretty well. I'm pretty sure these are the only 7-inch scale figures I own, like with this line. So I'll show you more if I had more. But he's a pretty nice size. Looks good. So with that said, take these guys out of the way. I definitely recommend you go out and you buy this Superman, because he is absolutely amazing. I definitely don't know how he compares to the NECA Superman. That thing looks pretty freaking sweet. But I'll say this guy is really accessible, which is important. You can get him pretty easy. He's in mainstream stores. He looks really nice on the shelf, man. He's a great piece altogether. The sculpting is really, really nice. So I definitely recommend him. I'd give him like an 8 out of 10, personally. So, anyways, thank you guys for watching this. I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you're all staying quarantined. I hope you're all happy, healthy, safe, whatever. And please leave a like below. Please subscribe, comment, talk to me, tell me what you think about this figure, and keep on collecting. Thanks, guys.